Okay, nice. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Cool. So I try to be fast. I have only 10 minutes, but anyway, I talk about like how to build like a safe and scalable protocols, and we'll see the power of like single-purpose protocols. So first, like maybe just a reminder on where we are heading to. So basically, DeFi, so decentralized finance, is like building finance but on chain and much better. So which means like more resilient, fairer, open, transparent, efficient system on chain. And also, we want to do that for the whole financial system, which is like $470 trillion, something like that, which is like 4,000 times like what we currently have in DeFi, so it's massive. And right now, the problem to me is like the current paradigm of like building smart contracts and protocols in DeFi is not gonna make it. So right now, as of now, we have like 6.5 billion of dollars that have been hacked just in DeFi. So I'm not counting like hover scams, etc., that are not part of DeFi, which is like too much like to onboard like those trillions of dollars. And for the past 3 years, we have been working in the space and working as close as it is possible to on overlanding protocols and DeFi protocols in the space. And we have realized that there are several problems that makes those paradigms like not going to make it. So the first one is like just like about security in the sense like you have like 1,000 of lines of code for those protocols, resulting in like a huge smart contract risk enshrined with like economic risk. It's usually like, sorry, the click does not work. Oh, okay, perfect. Usually it's not enough efficient to compete with TradFi, large spread, large slippage, low capital efficiency, and usually protocols are not scalable, so you need to deploy a new instance, you need to have like a heavy maintenance from the DAO or from like trust third parties, while we want to make this space like as much as possible trustless. And so we've been working for the past years and a half on like how to solve this and how to make it, how to really build like scalable and safe protocols. First thing like you can have in mind is just like applying the Swiss cheese model. And to me, in fact, I think it's like a bit overrated. So hot take here. Don't get me wrong. I'm like a huge advocate of this. Like we've developed like at Morpho like some security framework. We're doing like multiple audits, internal audits, bug bounties, etc. It's just like we think that this is missing like the very root of and the cause of all our problems, which is like in fact the design part that is. Okay, I need to keep closer to here, which is like the one that is like the most underrated and overlooked point, which is like just having like better design principles that will remove like most of like the bugs that you could introduce during the development process. And this is starting like before writing any lines of code. So we've developed like several principles to make like a much more much scalable and safe protocols. The first one is like just minimize governance. It will like reduce like governance overhead and operational overhead, reduce the attack vector. So I think like the last panel, so I don't remember exactly, was talking about like humpy governance attack on compound. So even on like large DAOs, you can have like governance attack, and compound is upgradable. So in theory, it could have like just rug all users. So the more you reduce governance at the protocol level, the better for your users, and it increases the predictability of for all your integrators. Good example of that are, of course, Liquidity, which is like governance-less, Uniswap, where the governance can only set the fee, and Morpho, where the governance can only set the fee and whitelist like new interest rate model. Second point is like really important for us is like immutability. It's just like we are here to create like a trustless environment. So if primitives are upgradable, that means like all type of integrators that are working on top of your protocol needs to be upgradable if they want to follow every features or logic changes that they will apply to your protocol. This is basically an anti-DeFi pattern, if I may, if your protocol is upgradable. And so making it immutable will like just foster innovation on top of it, and and brings more interoperability in the space. A good example of like what happened is like Aave upgraded their contract to add like some features, and they needed to roll back some of their changes because it was breaking integration, which can be super annoying for integrators. Again, good example of that, Liquidity, Uniswap, Morpho are all immutable smart contracts, so builders can build safely on top of them. Third point, Third point is like risk isolation. So trying to separate like the risk management from the accounting layer. So this is especially true for lending protocols or restaking whenever you need like some active and dynamic risk management. This allows like to separate the smart contract risk from the economic risk. And if something breaks, like it does not affect others, and it reduces like a contagion. So a good example is like Uniswap. If something, a pool is bad or something bad happened on a pool, it does not affect other pools. Same thing on Morpho. If something bad happened on a market, it does not affect other markets. So you have like risk isolation. Good example of that are Milo, Symbiotic, Morpho. Just put a graph of like Symbiotic, Milo, sorry, where you have like you can have like different LRTs that are like depositing capital into like different networks. If one network break, it only affects like the LRTs that have deposited capital into. Another very, very important point we think is like minimalism. Just trying to do as few things as possible, but doing perfectly. Just like when you build your protocol, ask yourself like, if I introduce this feature, will users like, if I remove this feature, will users still interact with my protocols? If the answer is yes, maybe you should just remove that feature from your protocol because it's not core to it, and you're just increasing the attack surface and the likelihood of like having bugs. A very good example of this is like Uniswap v2. Like just the code is one page. It's super straightforward. Same thing for Morpho. It's like 600 lines of code. So it's super simple, and it's super you can read it and try. It's easy to find bugs in it. And the missing features, the one that you have removed and that are not core of your protocol, just externalize them. If it's still important, just like build on your side like a protocol on top, or let just like builders like what they do best, which is like just building on top of your protocol. Good example of that is like in a DEX, you don't really want maybe to have like everything in one place, like limit orders, TWAM, oracles, whatever. Lending protocol, same thing. Like you may not want to have like super complex strat, having like a variable rate, fixed rate, and leverage all in the same place, because it's just like increase and over complexify the protocol. A good example, like again, Uniswap. You have like Bunny v2 working on like cool hooks, builders like like just building hooks that can do like oracles, etc. On Morpho, we have variable rate, but we have like delve, tenor, pawn that are working on like fixed rates, and this is not enshrined at the protocol level. This is externalized. So yeah, just to finish on that, I'm out of time. So you don't have to trust me, but just like look on chain, look at the hack, look what protocols are hacked, and like and make sure like you understand like those principles. Thanks for your time.